sixth graders, this lesson is on order of operations, also known as Pemdas. Please label the top of your notes page with that. Our learning target is being able to evaluate expressions using the order of operations. I'm sure you have heard of Pemdas before, but just to refresh yourself and remind yourself, please write this down of some sort into your notebook, however you want, or you could write it just like this, just to remind yourself that the P is parentheses, E is exponents, M is multiplication, D is division, A is addition, S is subtraction. Remember, multiplication and division are going to be left to right, so they're basically the same step. And then adding and subtracting, also left to right. Those are the same step. We'll also look at that more closely in our examples. And then some vocab words to write down. A numerical expression. Numerical means numbers. So a numerical expression has at least two numbers with at least one operation. So adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. So 3 plus 2, 4 times 6 plus 3. Those are all numerical expressions. Order of operations would be PEMDAS, is just the easiest way for us to remember it. The reason we have order of operations is so that there is a universal order of how to solve operations. So, or how to solve numerical expressions. If I have 4 plus 3 times 6, and I go left to right, 4 plus 3 is 7 times 6 is 42, but if I use order of operations, I would do 3 times 6 first, which is 18, plus 4, and I get 22. So we want to make sure everyone is always following along on the same order of operations. And then grouping symbols are going to be things that are used in the parentheses part of order of operations, which include parentheses, brackets, braces, fraction, and square root, which we will talk more about when we go through our examples. Here's just another way to, if you want to write down order of operations this way, and then just to remember that multiplication and division are the same step, addition and subtraction are the same step, you just go left to right. So if subtraction comes first and then addition, in the problem you solve it in that order instead. So when we evaluate expressions, we're going to use the order of operations, or PEMDAS. So I'm going to write it up here, and then I would like you to write at least a couple of these down in your notebook. I think it would be helpful and beneficial to just write them all down to have as many examples as possible. So if we look right here, 5 plus 12 minus 3. So first I ask myself, are there any parentheses? Yes, there's parentheses, so I'm going to solve what's in the parentheses first. I'm going to rewrite everything else except I'm going to solve the parentheses part. So I have 5 plus 9, because 12 minus 3 is 9. I can take away my parentheses because I've already solved that part. Now my next step, I don't have exponents, I don't have multiplying, I don't have dividing, I only have addition left. So 5 plus 9 equals 14. I'm going to circle it because that's my answer. Okay, next one. 8 minus 3 times 2 plus 7. So I look, I don't have parentheses, I don't have exponents, I have multiplication. And remember, multiplication and division are the same step. I only have multiplication, so I'm going to solve that first. So 8 minus 6 plus 7. Notice how I rewrote everything else nice and neatly that I haven't done yet. So now I'm on addition and subtraction, and I solve left to right. My subtraction comes first. So 8 minus 6 is 2 plus 7. So I'm still rewriting everything. 2 plus 7 is 9, and then I circle it. So I think it's great when you write the problem first, and then you rewrite every step, and eventually it's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller down to your answer where you will circle it. And then lastly, we have 5 times 3 squared minus 7. So I don't have parentheses, but I have exponents right here. So I'm going to do 5 times, and then 3 squared, remember, is 3 times 3, which is 9, minus 7. Now I do my multiplication first because that comes before addition. So 5 times 9 is 45 plus 7. And then 45 plus 7 would be 52. And then I circle it and I am done. You try these on your own. Pause, write it down, solve it all, and then come back and check. So 39 divided by 9 plus 4. So I do my parentheses first. So 39 divided by 13, then 39 divided by 13 is 3, and then I am done. Here I have 10 plus 8 divided by 2 minus 6, so I'm going to do my division first. So 10 plus, and then 8 divided by 2 is 4, minus 6, and then I just solve left to right. 10 plus 4 is 14, minus 6, 14 minus 6 is 8. So if you did this and you just did it in order accidentally, left to right, 10 plus 8, 18 divided by 2, that is incorrect. So go back and make sure that you either cross that off or at least redo it so you have the correct steps nice and organized as well, so you can see your answer at the bottom. Okay, a few more, 4 more that I would like you to do in your notebook. So pause this video, do them all, come back and check your work. So we have 3 times 10 to the 4th. My exponent comes first, so 3 times, and then 10 to the 4th is, so 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Basically it's 1 with 4 zeros. So it'd be 3 times 10,000. And then I know 3 times 1 is 3, and I just keep the zeros. So then it would be 30,000. 5 minus 1 cubed divided by 4. So this one I'm going to do the parentheses first, which is 4. And then keep my cubed. My cubed is going to go with 4, but because parentheses comes before exponents, I do that first. Then I divide it by 4. 4 cubed, 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64, and then divided by 4 is going to be 16. 14 plus 3 times 7 minus 2. So this one, so make sure if you made any mistakes, go back and correct them. So I do my parentheses first, which is 7 minus 2. So I'm going to rewrite this all exactly how it is, and I'm just going to keep my parentheses right here. 7 minus 2 is 5. When there is a number outside of the parentheses with no operation, it automatically means multiplication. So if it's like 4 times, or 4 parentheses 6, that would be 4 times 6, which is 24. So this basically means multiplication, which I have to do first before adding the 14. So it'd be 14 plus 3 times 5, which is 15. And then 14 plus 15 is 29. And then we have a whole long one, which I think are fun to do, all these long ones with lots of steps. But my first step is parentheses, so I do that first. So I'm going to rewrite everything super neat so I don't forget anything. And then 3 minus 1 is 2. Now I do multiplying and dividing left to right because they're the same step. And so I'm going to do this and this. You could break it up into 2 steps. I'm just going to do it in one right here. So I know that 8 divided by 2 is 4. And then I know 2 times 2 is 4. Because remember, this right here means multiplication. So then I add left to right. 6 plus 4 is 10. Plus 4 equals 14. Last problem that you don't need to write down, you can just follow along and watch me. So Juan goes to the school book fair where paperbacks are $1.50 and hardcover books are $3. Juan buys 5 paperbacks and 2 hardcovers. Write a numerical expression to find out how much Juan paid and then solve the expression. So I know that paperbacks are $1.50. So however many paperbacks I buy, I'm going to times that by $1.50. And then I also know that hardcovers are $3. So $3 times H. So P stands for paperbacks and then H stands for hardcovers. Well, Juan bought 5 paperbacks and 2 hardcovers. So $1.50 times 5. So notice I just put a parenthesis in, and that automatically means multiplication. Also, back step for a second here. This right here, a number with a variable like this automatically means multiplication. All right, so moving on, $1.50 times 5, and then $3 times 2, and then I'm going to solve. I'm going to do my multiplication first. So $1.50 times 5. Well, I know $1.50 times 2 is $3. So that means $1.50 times 4 would be $6. And then one more would be $7.50. Obviously, you can multiply that using decimals, like which we learned. And then 3 times 2 is 6. And then $7.50 plus 6 would be $13.50. Okay, that's all I have. Sorry it got just a little bit long. Make sure you check your understanding you can rewatch any part of this. Make sure you have your notes for the next class period. Put them in your notebook or in your backpack, whatever you need to do to make sure that they're in class. And if you need to go back and redo any of the practice problems, feel free to do so. Thank you for watching. Have a great night.